Hello, welcome again. And today we're going to talk a lot about communication, interaction, all the fun things that you want in a marriage. And I hope you have been having a great time so far. When you get married, it's a joyful thing. I like to attend weddings, and when I do, I see the people happy, especially as pastors. We do the weddings. We see the wedding from a different perspective, and you see everyone is excited. They're well dressed, and I can see in the family and the couple that they're happy. They want to be together for a long time. That's the goal. That's the expectation. Only to find that many years after, they don't like each other. They don't want to talk to each other. They hardly can stand each other. And the question is why? How does this beautiful thing, this exciting relationship become so hard, so painful? Now, someone was telling me the other day that my husband did something to me that really hurt. No one has hurt me like that before. And the same, I've heard husbands complain about the same thing. How does that happen? And how can we prevent that from happening or repair that? This is what I want to talk about today. Because if you are going to fix your marriage or you're going to have a great marriage, you need three things. I've talked about that before. You need to have confidence in the fact that you can have a great marriage, and that for as believers, that confidence comes from God. You also need to have the confidence that when God gives you instructions, it's going to give you a good one and you're going to follow it and it's going to work. That's what we call a strategy. Not your strategy, but God's strategy, a good strategy. So you need confidence, you need a good strategy, and you need consistency. Now, in the good strategy, God's strategy, one of the major parts of it is proper communication or friendship. Now, friendship is actually the strategy. Love one another and then friendship. But to have a good friendship, you need communication. And so today we're going to talk a lot about communication, and I'm going to show you why marriages struggle in this area and how you can prevent that and what you need to do to repair yours if there's a problem. All right, so stay tuned with me. By the way, if you're with me here and you are married for more than 4 years, you're married for more than 4 years, let me know in the chat. Are you married for more than 4 years? How long have you been married? I have been married for 20 years. Last month, August the 14th, 2004 is when we got married, and it's 20 years this year. It flew by, so to say. I'm so glad that I got to marry my wife. We are best of friends. We enjoy doing things together. We've been doing that since university days. I want to share with you some of the experiences we've had. Now, don't get me wrong, there will be ups and downs, and they continue to be there. But those things are not bad. They are how you get to know each other. They are how you get to love each other more, because you continue to love even when things are not going well. And, all right, if you are meeting me for the very first time, my name is Ade. I'm a pastor and unconditional love coach. What I do is I help men hit their goals in marriage, and anyone else who wants to. If you have a marriage and you discover that you're struggling, but you're doing well in other areas, it's not your fault. It's just because marriage is spiritual and the rules of marriage is different from the natural. So, but when you tap into God's strategy for marriage and you work it, you will be amazed at the kind of results you can get. God has designed this to be one of the best things that happen in our lives, but many times we don't know that and we don't get training for it. And that's why I'm here. I hope to help you hit those goals. All right, so let's get to the discussion today. What strategy am I sharing with you anyway? The strategy that I'm sharing with you is the strategy to move your marriage from the struggling place where there's no hope to this thriving space or soaring space where there's joy and peace and continuous growth. All right, so a lot of marriages are struggling and in pain because one person has hurt the other and they don't know how to move forward. So we've been going through the steps to do that, to move from the red zone on this pyramid to the blue zone, from a place where there's only 0 to 10% of peace and joy in the marriage to when there's always 90% of peace, 90% of joy, there's connection, and there's results in your marriage. I want to show you how to do that. And we've been running through the steps to do that. And they are broken into 3 levels. The first level is your heart. Work on yourself, to work on yourself so that you're healthy enough to move forward. A lot of times when your marriage is not working, you're having pain, you're having arguments, there's no intimacy anymore. Your spouse, your husband, or your wife looks like a stranger in your house. You're wondering what happened here. Now, a lot of time it's because of some of the trauma, some of the pain that you brought into the marriage. That doesn't mean that you are the problem, but those pain are being, those hurts are being amplified by your spouse. So in order for you to properly see them, you need to work on your heart. And the illustration I've given before now is when I first started to learn swimming. I only started this year. And the first time in the water on the deeper side of it, I couldn't see anyone. And right now, if you put me in any body of water where my feet do not touch the ground, I would stop seeing everything around me to a point. Why? Because I'm a little bit better now. But once I'm afraid of my life, the chances of seeing what's going on around me diminishes very quickly. And so when you're in pain and you're struggling and trying to survive, it is very, very hard for you to notice the pain, the struggle of your spouse. And that's why a lot of problems occur in marriages. When you're not seeing your spouse and your spouse is drowning as well and they can't see you, then you become problems to one another. So how do we fix that? We fix the heart. The next stage of that is now connection with God. And the reason why connection with God is very important is the moment you can see things clearly, you then know what is going on with your spouse, the problems they have, the works, the way they are yielding to the flesh, and you want to correct them. But if you go ahead and try to correct them from your position, you will be playing into the hands of the enemy because you will be bringing condemnation to them instead of conviction. And so the next step is not to rush into trying to fix your spouse. The next step is to rush into connecting with God so that He heals you properly. And so we work on that, removing your own masks, connecting thoroughly with God and surrendering to God, becoming a tool in the hands of God to impact and inspire your spouse. Now, when all that is in place, then we need to work on communication, because now you have a lot of love in your heart that you're able to handle your spouse's challenges, your spouse's errors, your spouse's foolishness, I call it. We all have them, or craziness. We all have them. Now, when you're in this space, you will find that you're able to communicate better. In fact, half of your communication problem disappears when you are in the right state of mind. Yes, please don't forget to put in the comments, how long have you been married? Have you been married for more than 5 years? If you have, let me know. Because a lot of statistics says that many marriages break down the first 2 years and then next one is 5 years. And I heard someone say 14 years is next, and then 20 years. Marriages still break up anytime. It doesn't matter how long. I think what matters is how connected you are with your spouse, how connected you are. Now, if you have not downloaded my cheat sheet, friendship rebuilding cheat sheet, please go to adesobanjo.com/friends. It's free. That's a good place to start if you just want to start with friendship rebuilding. The Lord bless you. The Lord keep you. And until we meet next week, Monday, continue to love like Jesus and make mega impact. Bye for now.